Hello there. You guys, I have Christmas pickle decor. I'm so happy. I'm Whitney with Crafty Thoughts and Whatnots, and let's just jump into this craft room because I cannot wait to show you what I have done. Now, what had happened was, let me just start by saying, first off, we're going to use this Dollar Tree house frame. Everyone see them, very common. Now, look at this paper. This is the cutest paper I've ever seen. Also, when you see me shake things, it's because I'm excited. I shake things a lot in this video. Now, this paper, my husband had gotten some sandwiches from Jimmy John's, and he came back and told me that there's this wonderful creation called the Pickle Witch. Now, I am a pickle person. My name is Whitney, and I love pickles, and I am not ashamed, nor am I planning on quitting anytime soon. So when he told me about this, I didn't get one, but this paper, his sandwich was wrapped in this paper, and I was like, you have to give me that pickle paper because that is what my life's purpose is now. I'm going to make pickle DIYs for Christmas because of Christmas pickle stuff. Now, we'll talk about Christmas pickle in a second. So before I just basically gibber through this whole video, I'll just go off and, off and on, I'll go off on my tangents like I normally do because, why change now? So with the Dollar Tree house frame, what we're going to do is, take it apart. I took the stickers off the back. I was able to get the blade down the edge to get the back off of it fairly easy this time. Some of these have given me problems in the past. This one did not for some reason. It worked well with me. It was good. The paper peeled off easy. Don't know why that happened because that's not normal either. What I'm going to do is cover this back now with a very good amount of my scrapbooking double-sided adhesive, and we're going to put the pickle paper right on top of it, and look how cute it is. You guys, I cannot explain to you how happy these pickles make me. This is like the cutest paper I've seen, and it's so adorable. It's so adorable. Now, we're going to cover up the JJs of the Jimmy John's on there, and by the way, let me know, are you also a pickle person? And also, there's no harm in being a pickle person and not being a pickle person. I am friends with many non-pickle people, and that just means more pickles for me, and I love you all the same. But did anybody get a Pickle Witch? I didn't get a chance before they stopped. Apparently they bring them back, and they've had them before, and apparently I've missed out on it. But anyways, what I did was I covered also the edge of the house in some white paint. Later on I do change that. Now this little guy here, I made this with Google AI, with ChatGPT. If you're not familiar with it, you go to ChatGPT, you use your Google account, and you don't have to use your Google account. I do. I use it actually quite often for a lot of help with videos, titles and descriptions and stuff, especially on the items I sell on my coffee page. But I put a very descriptive command into ChatGPT about this cartoon pickle that I wanted, and this is what it gave me. So not necessarily a free printable, but this is for me and my use in my home, and it was easy. It's what I made, and I didn't have to search for hours for a printable that I didn't need to buy or try to worry about, printing off of Google and it being, less than happy about it. So in any event, I made this. Now, you see me here, I'm going to try to cover up these JJs first here, the Jimmy John's logo, with these little scrapbook stickers. Now, I did put my pickle down first, and it's super cute. I'd also, if you noticed, I printed out many different sizes. After I got the image from ChatGPT of this cute little Santa pickle, I have many different sizes and put them on a Word document, printed them out, regular computer paper, fussy cut it out, and then now putting it on here. Now, these stickers weren't sticking very well. I'm assuming it's sandwich paper. I don't know. Those stickers are super old. Those scrapbook stickers are very old, but in any event, it wasn't, blowing the skirt up, if you know what I mean. So I took them all off. I took all of those off, and what I did was I went and got my paper punching goodies from my years of scrapbooking and card making, and I decided this snowflake was probably the best bet. I had a couple other ones. I had some circles and stuff. They just weren't working out. Now this was it was speaking to my little crafty heart, right? So I cut out lots of these little snowflakes here to cover up those little Jimmy John sections. And I did take off the holly on his hat right there, you'll see, and I did just reposition it so there is still the holly stickers on his hat because him's so cute, and I liked it a lot. Now, what I did with some of them is here is I cut the snowflake in half, and I'm using it to kind of edge the pieces. It's not just a solid snowflake everywhere because I didn't want that to be too, uniform. We need things to be a little bit crooked, a little bit off, a little bit weathered, a little bit damaged, like me. weathered, cute, off, damaged. In any event, we're just covering up the JJs. And also I kept putting the frame on from time to time just to make sure that I was, getting the view that I really wanted to make sure she's so cute. Now, this Christmas pickle thing, I only have known about for a very short time, maybe the last few years. And people were getting me pickle ornaments for a while. And I just thought it was because everybody knows, my friends and family know I love pickles. So I was like, is it because I love pickles? And I'm like, no, there's apparently all kinds of stories about the Christmas pickles. So if you have them and you know them and you are one of those families and or people who do that and or celebrate pickles or do the story, tradition, or what have you, please leave your story and or comments. I would love to hear about them because I literally just like pickles a lot. Like a lot. Like they're not safe in my house. And they're also mine. My husband is not a pickle person, but we get along because, like I said before, more pickles for me, right? Also, everyone knows there are pickles in my fridge that are just mine. So you don't touch them because, full transparency here. I drink the juice. It's mine. But I let you know ahead of time. You're welcome in my home. But the pickle jars, you probably don't want to touch anyways because I have drank out of them. That's just how it goes. Now, tell me if you do that too. Again, I'm not ashamed of any of this. This is just me. It's how I am. Now, I ended up using wood glue to put the frame back on the top because obviously hot glue just wouldn't have worked. It ends up drying out too quickly. And then I decided that the white frame wasn't giving me the definition I wanted. It wasn't popping enough. So then I just went back and covered it with some red acrylic paint. And then now it's giving me the feels that I like. Now we're going to go to 2 picks that I get from Hobby Lobby I've used in my previous videos. And I just cut some pieces off. This pine here, it has a very wispy, heavy movement to the ends of it. And I love the way it looks. It's very rubbery texture. And so it doesn't, it melts as soon as it hits that hot glue. So it's basically stuck in there. It's not going anywhere. Now, I was worried, if you see here, I am covering up a pickle in the bottom corner because I was worried. It's like, this pickle paper is so adorable, but I'm going to end up covering up most of the pickles. No, look at this. Look at these pickle ribbons. I got pickle ribbons from Amazon. So toot, I love them. But so I ended up using the green one on the bottom there. And we are going to put a pickle ribbon bow in here because, I wanted to, and I actually specifically went out and purchased this. And then I also got a cute little plastic, some little kitschy decorative pickles from Etsy. You'll see those in a moment. I specifically got pickle things just for this DIY, just because I knew I have an excuse to make a pickle DIY. I'm going to do it and I'm going to abuse it. Now, I tied a finger bow here, and this one was pretty classic. Even though this is one-sided ribbon, finger bows still will work out. You'll see here, it's just all in how you start the finger bow. And I do have a separate tutorial listed in my description and the pinned comment below if you want to take a peek at that. Finger bows can be a little bit difficult, takes a lot of practice. And even now, I still, to this day, end up pulling them apart and redoing them. But this one turned out great. It just, my first go at it, I didn't have to do anything different. So it also could be the ribbon too. This is like a thicker, it feels like a grosgrain ribbon. And then of course the word pickles all over it. So it just worked out, even that on both of those tails, you can see that word pickles. That's so cute. Just want to keep saying pickles, pickles, pickles. Now, I'm going to also add some red berries from a Hobby Lobby pick. Both picks were from Hobby Lobby. And I'm just going to layer these in. You've seen me do this before. If you've been here for a while, you'll see it. This is basically where my happy crafty heart thrives, in layering things and adding little, I call them, we'll just call them little decorative piles of goodness, whether they're inside bows or in the corners like this, in the corners of a shadow box or a frame. That's just where I thrive. I love it. It makes me happy. So I just keep doing it. And of course, this pickle stuff, man, let me tell you, I had a 10-mile grin the whole time I was making this. It was just so much fun. The time flew by. Didn't realize what was going on because this was just one of those crafts that just makes you happy. Now, if you see there, I cut one of those little sprigs down, and since I have a cut edge, what I'm doing is I'm trimming the top of the cut edge there to make it look like it's a top piece. So if you just take your scissors and kind of trim downwards at a diagonal to make it look like a nicer end piece, that's one of those tiny little details. Probably I'm the only person that pays attention to that, but that's what makes me happy. And actually, I got to use a piece of, what I'll call, craft trash. I didn't have to throw it away, and I didn't have to put it in my junk bucket. And then, of course, I layered some more berries around there. Everything went in with hot glue. And now I was going to stop, but I decided that the red snowflakes needed some more help. So I got these little wooden white snowflakes off of Amazon this year, and I have used them in my last few videos. But let me tell you, I can't remember how many I got. It's listed in my Amazon shop. I got all this stuff listed in my Amazon shop in the, there's a link in the description in the pinned comment. I don't remember how many I got, but these little wooden snowflakes have come in handy for pretty much every video. I think every video I've made so far for Christmas this year. And I layered them on top of our red punched cutouts, but then I also felt like I needed to put just a couple down here in our little, you know, collage corner, we'll call it. And I think it turned out great. I love the way it looks. So these ones here in the bottom, I'm gluing them to the greenery more than I am gluing them to anything else. So again, the hot glue is going to melt that artificial pine very, very well. You get a lot of good contact, a lot of good adhesion, and everything's good to go. Now look at these. Am I shaking them? Because I'm so happy. I love them. Look how cute they are. Now, I got this from an Etsy shop. I will list it in the description below. Yeah, I was shaking because I was excited. They're so cute. They have a whole bunch of cute little kitschy things. Now, they say that they're flat on the back, which is what I wanted. And it looks like they have, all of these have little hangers on them. And that's mainly probably because they're used as charms or something. It's very easy to take it out. So I just took my wire cutters here and then held on to it while I twisted it out. It came out perfectly. And even the end of it, look at the end of it here, still looks like a real pickle. I can't help how like stupid excited I get. And then look, it looks so perfect right there in the bow. It was meant to be there. There's little things that just finish off your projects and they make them so perfect, and I can't help but be like the goofiest, happiest. Yeah. And anyways, I forget how many I got those for. Now I ended up paying almost more in shipping than what they charge for these cute little guys. But this Etsy shop, I'll put again, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but it's linked in my description. This Etsy shop has just tons and tons of different little kitschy things like this. It makes me so happy to see them. So I got my little pack of pickles. Also got a little pack of pickle ribbon. So many packs of pickles and packs of pickle ribbon. And, you know, tongue-tied, but very, very happy the whole time. Tell me what you think. Again, the pickle thing would be like, yes, I have ornaments you put on the tree, but this is also just something that is fun and festive and kitschy and cute, and you just kind of sit that around somewhere to make you happy. It's all about looking at things and making you smile. So if it makes you smile, then it's done its job. Tell me what you think. Now, I was only going to do the one, but I decided since I had extra paper, I had all kinds of stuff, I wanted to do something quick and fast and easy. Well, to a degree. So I have these 12 count package of gift tags I got at Hobby Lobby a while back. And as you can see here, the tags, the little jute twine on the tags is a mess. So we're just going to do this, boop, and we are going to move along because we'll add a new hanger to it. I'm not going to spend 16 hours trying to untangle just the one tag from the other 12 tag hold yet. No. We're going to cut that off and move on. We're going to do a lot of the same steps that we did for our first DIY. So again, we're going back to the tag itself is white, so I didn't have to paint it, so that's good. And we went to the double-sided adhesive, placed it down on the paper. I wasn't thinking too much of paper placement, but in any event, I still got 3 pickles on there, so happy. By the end, you see 2 of them, still happy. Now, again, taking my file and pulling off all the excess paper around there, adding red snowflakes over the logos that we don't want to show. And then you'll see there I have already fussy cut out one of the smallest ones. I did not measure anything. I did not plan out the size because I also did not plan on doing this particular little tag DIY, but it all worked out well. I did 4 smaller images from the image that I made on ChatGPT, and it worked out great. Now, I did want to point out here, yes, I took the snowflake and put it off to the side and then did the same technique that we use with the scrapbook paper, or in this case, the recycled sandwich paper. And then that way it has a, layered effect or a look that you don't just have one, huge solid snowflake spaced out perfectly. I don't want it to be too uniform. I like things to be a little crooked, a little off, a little messed up, a little damaged. That's where it makes me happy. And then so I decided, do I want to put this left, right, or center? I decided I want to put it off to the side just a little bit here, and then had to tack it down just a little bit there. The double-sided adhesive is a very strong adhesive, and I didn't want to tear this paper. It's just computer paper and then once I cut that out with some little detailed scissors, it gets to be a little bit, you can tear it easily if it's this small. So I went back to my pickle ribbon after this, and I just decided to cut out one of the words pickles with a dovetail on each end. Make sure I burned all those little edges with some far so that she doesn't come apart. And then what I want to do here was I'm going to put this on the front like a little banner. Now, all of this here is such tiny little details. This is what's going to be like the devil's in the details here for this, because everything on this little tag was so tiny, but it was so much fun. So what I did was I pushed the pickle ribbon so that it gives it a little bit of a 3D effect there, if you could see what I did. I put a dot of glue down on one side first, and then I pushed it in further so that it was like one of those things where it kind of doesn't fit, and then held it. So it puts a wrinkle in the ribbon while you're gluing it down. Hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, you can watch what I did while I gibber through it, and you can see exactly what I did in order to get that little ripple effect on there. And then, like our other one before, we're going to put those little Amazon wooden snowflakes on top of our red paper snowflakes. And here's my another success story. Here is a piece of garbage. Basically, here's a piece of trash from my craft room. I call it craft trash. I have junk buckets. If you know me, you know I have junk buckets. I had this little piece of ribbon in there from one of my videos I just did, my last DIY. And all I did here was I just kind of folded it on itself and I tacked it down with some glue. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to add the hanger with some jute. After we add the hanger onto the actual project here, we're going to put jute around the middle of that bow. Now it's so tiny, I was worried, I can't wrap it 2 or 3 times because then I'm going to have a big old piece of, jute in the middle of this tiny little ribbon. But so what I did was I just tied it once around and knotted it because I wanted to have the middle of the bow be cinched. It wasn't cinching and I didn't want it to be just, it was too thick in my opinion. So if you'll see here, I'm just taking the jute, tying it around the middle, and I'm going to tie a knot in it. But I'm going to leave the front of it with the tails there. I'm not going to try to hide any of this because it's going to work to my advantage because it ties into the jute tie that we're putting at the top of the tag. Look how cute that is. I just turned out so well. Some of this stuff farmhouse seems to fall in my lap sometimes, I love it. Now, I'm going to glue that to the top right by the hole where we put our hanger. And I still thought it was missing something. Believe it or not, with all these cute little details, look at this. Look at this. I've had these little buttons. They're so cute. Yes. Again, I'm shaking it because I'm happy. I had these little tiny, they're like little micro mini buttons. Again, listed in my Amazon shop. Take a peek at it. There is a link in the description and my pinned comment. These are the tiniest little buttons. They're so cute. So I added red and green buttons because they made me happy. And then that I finally calmed down. I mean, I haven't calmed down. You can hear it in my voice. But anyways, I stopped. I did stop after this. So I added the green buttons onto the top of the snowflakes, and then I added a red button onto the bow, and then I just added one little accent button onto the little corner of the pickle ribbon. And that just made me so happy. And that's just where I ended it there. So tell me, would you have added some more? What do you think about the buttons? I think the buttons finally finished it off and made me happier than I could possibly be. And then now I have a cute little tag I can put in my Christmas tree. So cute, yeah. Look at that. I love it. And you can actually see the texture on that scrapbook paper there. That's a nicer cardstock scrapbook paper that, of course, I had a remnant piece because I save all my garbage. Tell me what you think. Look how cute it is. And those little pickles. And this pickle is mirrored. So the pickle that I had for the larger one actually kind of has a little curve to the body. He curves to the left. This one curves to the right. So it's one of those things where when you're making your copying and pasting, or you're putting things, I put them in text boxes in a Word document. You can mirror them and change them as long as there's no text in them, that type of thing. But look how cute it is. I'm so happy. That's it for today, guys. It's just 2 little short DIYs. Of course, they are pickle themed for a reason, because when garbage or recyclables present themselves to me, we do not let them go. So I had to reuse this paper. And again, let me know. And did you have one of these? Do you do the pickle Christmas thing? Did you have a pickle witch? Please explain. Give me your pickle stories. I would love to hear them. But that's it for today, guys. I love this. Now, I have a coffee page, so if you like my videos or my jibber jabber and you feel like you've learned something, you can drop a donation here, as well as my DIYs are for sale. So take a peek, as every little bit counts. Always appreciated, never required. And with all that being said, that's it for today. I have many more. Thank you for watching. I love the fact that you join me every time. A lot of you have been wonderful. You're my fuel. And I've got many more to come. Very short, but they're going to be coming. So I love you more than I can possibly say in words. Many hugs, happy crafting, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.